Hello again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man, and what we're looking at is a domestic rotary from the late 40s. And why in the world would I want to have you know about this little critter? Well, I got 3 of them this week to service. Either this one or in the other iterations is a Kenmore or a white. They come in all sorts of nameplates, domestic, but they're very similar, and everything interchanges as far as bobbins, hooks, wiring, and they are old cast iron machines back when that was the rage. That's all they made them, cast iron, and until they hit the alloys in the 50s and 60s. But this little guy is a rotary, which means it has a full rotary movement. Let's do it this way. So it's a full 360-degree rotation, which is the state of the art today. So this is one of the first rotaries, and it has a full-size metal bobbin. And the beauty of this little guy is it's got a friction wheel drive, which I say the beauty of it is kind of ornery because you have to always give the wheel a flip to get it started. And it's a growler. It'll make a growling noise as you sew, but so it will. And folks are seeing these either at the Goodwill or at the Salvation Army, or maybe it's in the garage and it was great grandma's and they want to get it going. And that's been the case all week in the 3 I have. The one lady, it was her great grandma, she wanted to get it going. I understand that's a sentimental thing, so we got it going for her. Hers wasn't as nice as this one. It has some corrosion on the hand wheel. This is in real nice shape. This lady got this at the Goodwill. She paid $15 for it. And if you don't have a sewing machine, $15 goes a long way on this guy here, because almost all of them, rarely do I ever get one of these. They're not just about ready to go. You just have to oil them, clean them, polish this, polish that, take the hand wheel off and make sure the clutch is good. And quite often I will have to put a motor drive wheel. That is the most common thing because they sit forever, and the motor is spring loaded to drive wheel against this other wheel, and of course it'll sit there forever. And the rubber, instead of being soft and grippy and supple like rubber should be to drive, it will get real hard, like this lady's old one I replaced. See how it's all shiny? It's turned to like a porcelain. It gets really hard, and it'll get a flat spot on it. See if I can get this flat spot right there. See that flat spot? And then it's game over for this guy. So you order another and you think, oh my gosh, this machine is so old, there can't possibly be parts available for it. And then of course I always show you sewing parts online. There it is, sewing parts online. They have a lot of this cool stuff. So where do I get this? Where do I get that? Well, my first stop is always sewing parts online. They're not a sponsor. I don't have sponsors. This whole endeavor is a labor of love, as they say. This isn't my primary job. My primary job is fixing sewing machines, but I do this to help people out. So if you get one of these, quite often you're going to need a wheel, drive wheel, rubber drive wheel. They're almost always going to need a bobbin winder wheel. I can't imagine any machine that old that doesn't need a bobbin winder wheel, because they are always calcified, hard as a rock. Of course, now you get another one on there. Disengage the hand wheel, and it winds beautifully. And as far as sewing, man, these things make a beautiful stitch. If you just want to sew a straight stitch forward and backwards, and you're not into impressing the neighbors and have people turn their nose up like, what is that? That's what they'll do, because they have a new FOF Impressions 3.5, which, that's the other end of the spectrum as far as heavyweight, not so heavyweight. So if the apocalypse comes, I'd rather have this than a new electronic one that I couldn't get parts and service for because they're not available. This one, all these years later, they're still available. Now, what we usually do on these is take them apart, put them together at the beginning. I'll do it at the end to show you what I did to this one. Basically, this little guy, this needed to be serviced. You push the button, that releases. That had some scratches and stuff. I put 4 steel wool on there and polish it up real pretty. Bobbin case, like so. Has the little pinch. Loads just like a regular 15 class. What's turning clockwise as it faces you. Down underneath, you can see it has the release, one release button there, and there the retainer ring comes off. Inside is the hook assembly, full rotary. Sometimes on the point there'll be a little burr you have to polish off, but it goes back together. On this one here, there was some thread built up on this little notch. This little notch right here will get a thread or so wrapped around it. And then when you go to snap your bobbin case on it, it won't snap in, it won't stay in place, because that's what holds it in place. That little release here holds it on. So if your bobbin case just falls out, check that little guy there, and then check at the base of it, make sure there's no build up there. But that's basically it. Everything is kind of a what you see, what you get. You have your bearing holes, anything that pivots or rotates, you put a drop of oil on it. People get confused when they hear a drop, they think I mean a gallon. Nope, just a drop. And that's where you need one of these handy dandy extended spout oilers. Where do you get those? Sewing Parts Plus, of course. And they'll send it to you with oil, without oil. And always make sure to clean out the end. There's a little piece of wax in the end. Always put a maybe a sewing pin in there to clean that out to get it going. Now this one, someone had been clever and taken this side apart over here. Don't ever do that. Let me repeat, please don't ever do that. There's a screw here and a screw here, a bolt and a bolt, and you can loosen those and take this side off, but oh my gosh, don't do it, because it's a Rubik's Cube putting it back together. And I can do it. It's still not fun. I just don't like when people do that. Everything you can get in there to service, everything to oil, you can blow it out, and you extend it let's see, extended spout oiler. Yeah, rubber baby buggy boners. Yeah, extended. Do it again. Extended. See, I don't edit this stuff. You folks just have to laugh at me because I'm an idiot. Extended spout oiler. You put it in there and you oil it. Put a flashlight and you can see everything that hinges or slides. Give it a drop, not a gallon, just a drop. And you take the hand wheel apart if you want to, but there's an oiling journal right up on the very top that you can oil it. So you don't really have to get crazy with this, but if you can get them for 15 bucks, she got it with a real nice cabinet, has drawers on both sides, made out of real nice furniture, wood. Nice deal. So if you have one machine and this is it, you're in good shape. If you want to get another one to take to your sewing classes and stuff, you know, get your little Janome or little Bernina portable, but this is one you can put in the cabinet, sew all day, make quilts, whatever you want to do. This is a domestic rotary, and I think the model number they put on the end of this one is a 151. It was made in the 40s, and it's got the original light bulb in it. That's how they made things back in the day. So if you can get one of these, you know, fine. If you don't have a machine, you need one. But if you have one and it's a sentimental thing and you want to get it redone, I understand that, and it can be done, and it's not a big deal, and they're easy to do. Parts aren't expensive, and they're available. So domestic rotary, super tank. Thanks.